Hi, and welcome to another episode of the All-Purpose Foodie. It's that time of year, summertime. We've got the AC cranking in the apartment, barbecuers are on, and everyone's getting ready for one of my favorite holidays, the 4th of July. Now, I do a lot of the savory cooking, I do a lot of family meals, and I've started dabbling in some flatbreads and stuff like that, but I don't do a lot of the baked sweet treats. So I have a guest today, my little sister, Jessica, proprietor, main baker, only baker right now, of the Monkey Lou Cakery. So she's going to show us how to do some awesome cupcakes. So why don't you break down a little bit what we'll be doing today?
Yeah, so today I just want to provide you guys with a really simple recipe to blow your guest away for the 4th of July. We're going to be making a very easy vanilla basic cake, a basic buttercream frosting, and then I'm going to show you how to decorate with those two simple things in 3 different ways so that you can wow your guests. What you'll need is
2 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, 1 cup of whole milk. You can use whatever kind of milk you do have. I just prefer whole. 1.5 cups sugar, 4 eggs, 1 cup softened butter, which equals 2 sticks of butter, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1 tablespoon almond extract. Most recipes will use vanilla extract, but I think that almond tastes better, so I use it instead. You will also need 1 regular size cupcake pan, and 2, I got these really fun 2 different colored cupcake liners, 1 red, 1 blue, because we're doing 4th of July theme.
Let's get started. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start with our wet ingredients. I like to start with my butter. And so we will take our 2 sticks of butter, which equals 1 cup.
There you go.
Okay. Next, we're actually gonna mix in our sugar. So what I like to do to create the fluffiest, most moist cake is we are going to actually mix and whip our butter and sugar together.
So start with the wet ingredients.
Wet ingredients.
But do butter and sugar first.
Butter and sugar first.
So I was thinking sugar is a dry ingredient.
Yep.
But makes sense. So isn't this called like creaming your butter or something?
Yep,
like that?
it would be called creaming your butter and your sugar.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
So we're gonna, to best help you, I don't know if you have a kitchen stand-up mixer. If not, you can use a hand mixer. If not, you can do it the old-fashioned way, which I've done several times, which is just getting a spoon and a bowl and mixing it up. But right now I'm gonna put this on a low speed so that until the sugar gets mixed in, it doesn't fly up in our face. We are going to actually add in our 4 eggs. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put this on a low speed to whip the eggs in with the butter and the sugar. And again, we don't need this to be this amazing looking thing. We just want to make sure that all of the ingredients look like 1 instead of the 3. The milk we will actually add in last just to be sure that the flour mixes in the best it can, but what we will do is we will add our extract. I just like to get it a little bit mixed so that it thoroughly mixes each ingredient. But
If it seems a little much, like it's going back and forth and substituting that and do this in this order, if you want to do it the exact way we're doing on the show today, don't worry about trying to keep up with us. We're going to have everything posted on the website, the allpurposefoodie.com. We'll have recipe steps and tips on there, so go check that out. We'll have the link down in the description if you want to make sure that you got all your notes from the episode. So what do we got next?
Next, I'm going to put in the extract, but right after the extract, I'm actually going to do our salt and our baking soda because they're going to mix in a lot easier with the wet ingredients.
It's baking powder, right?
Baking powder.
Yeah, you don't want
My
to
bad, don't put that in there. So here is my almond extract.
Now, will the normal average Joe still think this tastes like a vanilla cupcake?
They
Or
will
they
taste
taste a little different?
hints of almond. So it is up to you. I prefer almond extract. Even people who don't really like almonds. I don't eat almonds just in general, but I love almond extract. I put it in my coffee. I put it in, honestly, I put it in everything.
So the
So
salt
it's up
and
to
baking
you.
powder going together to
Yep.
activate each other, right?
Correct. So we're going to give that a little mix, and then we're going to add in our flour and our milk. Again,
What I like to do with my milk and my flour is I will put a little bit of flour in, so about half the amount of flour, and then I'll put in half the amount of milk, and then I'll add the next half.
Approximately, how full would you fill your cupcake liners here to get the right size cupcake?
Yeah, so I would always say that 1/4 a cup of mixture into your cupcake liner is always a safe bet. That should always end up being at least half of the liner, and that's what you want to get it at.
Great. So
Yep.
350,
Yep,
approximately 15 minutes?
Correct.
Or until golden brown on top?
yep,
You can use the little toothpick trick, yeah, if you're not sure?
yep. Stick a toothpick in it. If it comes out clean, It's great.
All right, cool. Let's get this in the oven and then we'll get to decorating. All right, so our cupcakes are baked and cooled. Nice golden brown on the top there. You want to make sure to cool them.
Yep.
Otherwise, when you go to frost them and they're hot, the frosting will turn into liquid and run everywhere, and it'll be a terrible day.
Yep.
So we're going to get our frosting started.
Yeah, so today we're just going to make a simple buttercream frosting. So with that, these will be our frosting ingredients, and these will be our decorating ingredients. So let me walk you through what we have.
3 3/4 cups of powdered sugar. Here we have 5 tablespoons of whole milk. Again, you can use whatever kind of milk you like. Here we have our almond extract, that's 1 tablespoon. And here we have a half a cup of butter and a half a cup of Crisco shortening. These are going to be our toppers for today. Right here we have some fresh diced strawberries. We have a half a cup of sugar. We're actually going to sweeten strawberries with those later. Here we have some blueberries and raspberries. And here we have some stars and stripes, basic sprinkles. And then over here we're going to do a little bit of lemon zest. So that's what you'll need for today.
Your thing up, and if it stands a good bit, then you know it's a good consistency. So what we're looking for is we're looking for something that doesn't soup down the sides of the cupcake, but we want it to be just this nice medium ground that peaks. So
And if it is too thick or too soupy, what do we do?
yeah. So just add in 2 tablespoons at a time and see where you're at. If it's too thick, what you're gonna want to do is I would add in just a tablespoon of milk and see how that puts it at. And then if it's still too thick, you don't want to add too much of one thing because you don't want to over milk it or over butter it. If it's still too thick, add about another tablespoon of butter in there.
So alternate butter.
Alternate butter and milk just so that you get the same consistent flavor. Yeah, so
Cool.
this looks pretty
So
good.
you're gonna show them how to build a piping bag, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squeeze 1/2 a lemon into this strawberry mixture and add the half cup of sugar, right?
Right,
Mix it all up.
mix it all up.
So I like to put make sure I catch seeds here. If there are any seeds, make sure you're dealing with clean hands.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a piping bag. But I know for a lot of you, you feel really challenged by that. You feel like you might not know how to use a piping bag, don't know where to get one from. This set is actually in most grocery stores. If you go down the cake mix aisle, you'll be able to find this quick, easy set. It should be just over $5. It's got all the tips you'll need for cupcakes, and it's got several baggies in there, and you can use them multiple times. So this is the easiest way to set yourself up for a fancier looking cupcake. So I'm just going to show you how to set that up.
Jeremy, so how we're going to do these with these tips is I'm actually going to give him this one, which is a tip Milton 4B, if you want to go find that at a different store. We're actually just going to cut off the top of this bag. I start smaller just in case. You can always make it bigger, but you can't always make it smaller. So start a little ways, and then you're going to try your tip inside. What I'm going to do is just stick the tip right inside the bag, and I'm going to push it up. And it looks like I need it a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to push it back down a little bit.
So you want the bag to tighten about halfway up the tip or so? Is that?
Yep,
what
it can even be right underneath. It can be 3/4 up the tip. You just want the top of the tip to be predominantly sticking out. You can use a spoon or a spatula or whatever you like to get your frosting out. And I'm just gonna stick it in there, give it a whirl around, and just start putting some in my frosting bag.
You can taste that almond.
I
taste.
love it. Okay, I think we've got a good amount of icing.
Cool.
We're just going to show you 3 different ways to decorate a cupcake right here. Okay, so I'm going to start with our basic sprinkled cupcake. So I'm just going to start on the outside. I'm going to hold my cupcake as much as I need, and I'm just going to go around. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna sprinkle, and you actually want to sprinkle pretty quickly after you ice one if you are gonna do sprinkles, because the frosting will set quicker than you think, and once it sets, it kind of gets a hard, crisp outer area, so your sprinkles won't actually stick as well. You'll have to literally like shove them in there, and that's not fun.
Cupcake number 2.
Okay.
What do we got?
We're just gonna go around the outside one time. So you just squeeze and around.
Cool.
We're gonna do that, and we're actually gonna do a little
little spot in the middle, but you're not actually gonna see that spot.
All right.
And we're just gonna take these strawberries and we're gonna give our middle a filling.
Nice.
If they seep over the edges, that's okay.
And then finish her off. Yeah, little lemon zest.
A little souping down the sides and a little lemon zest. Perfect.
Now, the frosting seems a little runny.
Yeah.
Perfect example. This is a little runny. You know, for the sake of time and ingredients and stuff, we're going to go ahead and continue on. But you can see how you're going to want to add it. A little bit of powdered sugar. Hey, we're all home chefs. We're all home bakers here. So you can see how it's probably not going to set up quite the way we like the apartment.
So that one you did frosting everywhere, yeah?
Yep, frosting everywhere, and we're just gonna arrange some berries however many you like. I'm only gonna do a couple just to make it look pretty.
Berries. And you can see probably kiddos obviously are going to be going straight for those sprinkles. Unless they're like Cayman, my little guy who loves fruit of any kind and berries for sure. I'm going to do a little lemon zest because I like the little... It is red, white, and blue, 4th of July, but a little poppy yellow is always nice.
And there they are, cupcakes 3 ways. So again, frosting's a little soft. Perfect example of wanting to thicken it up a little bit, right? But you can see how these are really easy cupcakes. You can really jazz it up, and with just a couple ingredients for decoration, sprinkles and a couple fresh berries, you can have an assortment, a variety of cupcakes that people are going to feel like they've got so many choices. It's all, you know, the fresh berries, red, white, and blue, 4th of July, summery. It's awesome. All right, and with the power of film editing, look at that. Beautiful cupcakes. Now, what we did was we added a little bit of powdered sugar to these. It's frosting thickened right up, and you can see that now it's holding the strawberries really nicely. The berries are in there, the sprinkles really fluffy, standing up really nice. This is what you want it to look like. So again, it was a little runny. We added a little bit of sugar, a little lemon zest on there, and it's good to go. So we've made 3 different kinds of decorated cupcakes. Same batter, same frosting, but when your guests come and see these things, they're gonna go, wow, which one do I wanna try first? The almond extract is going to elevate that flavor. The berries are going to elevate that flavor. A little bit of lemon zest, you know, acidity in there is going to elevate that flavor. It's going to taste like summer on a cupcake. So, thanks. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on today. You can follow Jessica at her Instagram. Again, the Monkey Lou Cakery. We'll have the link down in the description. You can go to the All-Purpose Foodie for the recipes, you know, until you have a website.
Yep.
Then we'll send you over there. She makes great cakes, birthday cakes, wedding cakes, all that kind of crazy stuff. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Till we eat again, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.